Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Ron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron.
You done messed up, Ron.
Ron's right here. Welcome back for more SPTV, everyone. Where every day's a great day not to be in a cult. Every day is also a great day to leave Scientology. Hopefully the gentleman that we're about to watch in a video is going to leave Scientology sometime soon. Hopefully his Sea Org member sister is going to leave Scientology sometime soon. Something crazy happened about 4 days ago. The same Scientologist showed up multiple times on multiple streams and had conversations with multiple protesters. And eventually his Sea Org sister had to come out and on camera pull him away, even though the guy was insisting to the protesters that he wasn't even a Scientologist. Anyway, this is really weird. We're going to watch this. And I'm going to watch this with my good friend. Oh, no, Nora.
Hey. Hot dog.
I
got a sticker today from my wife. That's what that is. I'm going to put it on my computer. I'm getting a sticker chart for filling my cup with good things like this, like hanging out with you. So, yeah.
What's on the sticker?
It's a pickle. It's a pickle with a mustache. It's a mustached pickle.
Oh.
He's like got awesome. He's got the Mr. Potato Head face on.
Okay, so now, we've got these two videos queued up here. The first one we're not going to run audio on. I just wanted to kind of run it. This is on Selfless Self's channel. Of course, someone's trying to call me. Let me quickly silence Signal. I have to quit Signal. My do not disturb works for everything except Signal.
No, it doesn't. That goes through everything.
Yeah. Okay, so Selfless Self talked to this guy, and the only reason we're not showing the Selfless Self clip is because I have limited time right now, and his clip is almost 20 minutes long. This conversation with this dude goes for 20 freaking minutes. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm running audio on the wrong one. Hold on. I'm accidentally pressing. Okay. So this poor gentleman is the one who, just from everything that we've been able to piece together, we can't tell if he's even a Scientologist. He says he's done a couple courses, but he claims that doesn't make him a Scientologist. But for some reason, it seems that Streets knows that this Sea Org member in there is his sister. You and I, we don't know how Streets knows that. Do you know? You don't know, do you?
Because in this conversation with Selfless Self, he says, well, I was just having lunch with my sister because that's totally okay. All these things you're saying basically are not true because she could come out and do whatever she wants. And I just went and had lunch with her. And he's holding his like little Chipotle bowl and stuff there, which of course has beans and rice, classic Sea Org meal. And as we recall, and so, he is like, basically this conversation, which is 20 minutes, which I found astounding that nobody came out during this conversation, it goes like high and low a little bit. And he, basically at the end of it is like questioning some stuff. Maybe that's why he comes back later the same day to talk to Confidence Chris and stuff. Like, I don't know. But this one was like Selfless Self was giving him some factoids about the difference between this ghost town street now and how it was back in the day when, you and I were in the Sea Org and there was just people everywhere. And, before they renamed it LRH Way, it was just Berendo and you could park your car on there. Remember when the street would just be lined with cars and, you couldn't find a parking if you were in the Sea Org or on staff? You'd be like, oh, now I got to drive around. And
Right. So we're not gonna show this interview, but we are gonna show the 8-minute chat that he has with Confident Chris and Jessica Palmadessa and Streets. I don't know if they're all part of the chat because now, full disclosure, I have not listened to this chat before. We're doing this live.
Do it live.
I can't say it. F it. We'll do it live.
It's still one of the greatest clips of all time.
It is. Okay, so this is, and this is Confident Chris's channel here. Confident Chris. By the way, Nora, I have to tell you, I went over to the YouTube channel today, Fluffer Squirrel UK.
Yeah.
And on her community tab, she has a list of every single Scientology. I went through the Scientology protest streaming channel. I went through and subscribed to every freaking one of them. And I can't believe how many of them there are.
that's what I was just saying to Natalie a little bit ago. It's like, to me, and I asked her, I'll ask you the same question. In our lifetimes of being in the Sea Org and witnessing like little protests come out up outside and stuff, have we ever seen anything on this scale worldwide, the magnitude of this ever? Chris,
No,
I mean,
I haven't.
No,
I was just doing a chat with Jeff Jacobson an hour ago, and he had protested with Anonymous, and he said that he thought that there were actually about 10,000 anonymous protesters around the world. Now that's a lot.
Yeah.
But just like okay, so when they were going out to the test center every night, there might have been 50 people there. There weren't 50 people streaming. So my point is, the point I'm about to make is, for every group of protesters who are live streaming, you're going to have exponentially more protesters who are out there but not live streaming. So the fact that there's just so many channels, it's my hope that any channels that are out there protesting encourage members of their audience to come out and join them, even if the members of their audience don't want to live stream. That's another thing.
Well, there was no such thing as live streaming when Anonymous was doing it. That wasn't like a YouTube option, number one, or they absolutely would have been. But if you look at the difference between the internet impact of the way people consume news, media, just everything, 2008 versus now, it's like we're in 2024. And the streamers know what's up. And they are, out there, engaging their audience, which combined is millions of people around the world. So the fact that these protests are happening and there's 50 people outside or whatever, it millions of people are seeing that live. And that's the difference between the Anonymous era, which was hugely impactful, and now.
Yeah. Okay, we are going to watch this whole 8-minute thing. I have about 25 minutes and then I have a hard stop. Guys. Hard stop. Let's watch this. Now, at the end of this clip, spoiler alert, the reason this clip is so funny is because the guy spends the whole time claiming that he's not a Scientologist. And yet at the end of the clip, his Sea Org member, we're going to assume sister, literally comes out and drags him away. Like, he's not allowed to communicate. Scientologists are supposed to pride themselves on, first of all, confronting and shattering suppression. And also, communication is the universal solvent. Communication, you can solve anything with communication, I guess, except the horrible suppression of the protesters. You must not solve that with communication. Why not? What's so special? What's so specially horrible about protesters? Anyway, I mean, we know.
Pay close attention to her mask, everyone in the audience, because she's masked, and pay close attention to how many words she says to him, because you can see when someone's mask is moving when they're talking. Pay close attention to that when we get to the end there.
How are Scientologists still wearing masks outside in 2024?
They're wearing masks everywhere because they're terrified of the pandemic still. They're still they're still wearing gloves.
Is it possible though that they're only doing it because that the people we see outside are only doing it as an excuse to cover their faces from the protesters?
I think so. Because remember when early on they were streaming the bus people and people were getting recognized, and then people were reaching out to the streamers to tell them messages. They do not want people recognized. They don't want them getting messages from their family.
That's right. And you know what? The further evidence to support our assertion here, all of the security guards at Flag, when they come out, they're wearing the masks. But when you see all the Sea Org members coming off the buses and getting in the building, no masks.
Yeah.
So it's clearly not a Sea Org mandate that they have to wear masks.
No.
Okay, so let's get back down to business. This is Confident Chris's channel, and they are coming across this dude once again, and let's listen in.
Hey, your brother's out here. He wants you to come outside.
Take the class, don't you? That doesn't mean I'm a member.
You know Danny Meston was OTA, right?
If you're a Scientologist, take pride. You guys always have to lie. Everyone, you guys always have to lie.
I take one class.
You guys lie all the time. You don't want to say who you are.
I haven't even talked about psychiatry though. Okay,
It's so freaking hard to hear the dude.
Yeah, it's because William's so loud.
Well, no, it's because Confident Chris isn't using an external mic.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay,
He's
Chris. No
mentioning
shade.
psychology because Selfless Self talked about how he got a degree in psychology, and immediately the guy went like negative in the conversation with him, of course.
Oh.
And so now he's bringing that back up, and Chris is like, I ain't even talked about what are you talking about?
I got it.
What's my logic? I just got here. What are you talking about?
Because you don't want to actually talk because you're not going to.
All right, talk.
You want to actually have a conversation.
All right, go ahead.
Like a real person. And you want to
They
sit
trying
there
to
with
knock
the
him
camera.
real good. Hey, bring the guy down
You
here.
want to just sit there with the camera and like try to sit
Guy
there
down
and
here.
like.
I'm trying to eat, actually.
I don't know what you want.
I don't know what the hell is going on.
I love how William's just like losing his shit in the background.
And Chris is
And I
like,
like
I don't
how-
even know. I just got here.
I keep sticking my head closer to the screen like it's going to help me hear this better. Oh,
No, this
Yeah.
is exactly what he said to Selfless Self. Why don't you just have a conversation?
right.
It's the same thing. And then also there's a camera right behind him that's a security camera, y'all, staring at the whole thing. But he's mad about Chris's camera.
Oh, that's right. The camera right behind his head is a Scientology security camera. Oh boy. I keep hearing something like, oh, I don't know. Okay, let's keep going.
I'm just trying to have a conversation. I just want like.
So,
I want. Like,
You're the first Scientologist that's trying to have a conversation? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
because I'm not a Scientologist. I'm a guy who just lives. I go to school. I just do my shit. You know, I do what everyone else does.
Okay.
Skate, I do whatever. And then guess what? I want a little help in something. I do a course here. I get a win, and then I'll walk away.
Oh, he's totally a Scientologist.
Nobody
He's a
says I get a
Scientologist.
win.
Yeah.
You don't care about the 4 members that have already escaped, or what? The people that have escaped, yes.
I don't know them. I honestly don't, and I would love to hear about it.
Don't you?
No, I actually want to hear about it.
Yeah. I'm about to tell you. Yeah. So whenever you go into something, look who it is. He's gonna take you. By the way, he's gonna take you.
How does the bike guy not take him?
Right?
He's about to
No,
take you.
because I'm not a
Oh, just give it a second. He's gonna take you.
He doesn't have any authority.
He's gonna take you.
He doesn't have authority.
Well, he's about to have some authority.
I'm not getting harassed. I'm having a conversation.
That's
Oh, the security guard didn't want to do something out PR on camera.
No, but he's staring right.
Wow.
I don't know who that guy is, but somebody help us out.
Wow.
first time. We're making change. We're making history over here.
No, it's not making history. It's just most people
Chris
can't
is so funny.
because you guys just come with like a million things, and I'm just trying to talk with what I actually know, which is what I've actually experienced.
Yeah. So whenever you go into something, right? Don't you want like perspective on the people that have already left, or why have they left?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Please tell me.
So all these people born and raised in it, from the Sea Org, the way they were abused, the way they were treated as a child, the way they treat children. You know, L. Ron Hubbard treats children the same as adults, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, I was basically very. I definitely felt like that. I was held back, but I was still a kid.
Yeah, but I'm saying
They-
they treat them, the way they treat them, the kids.
I mean, I definitely could say it's like
They
similar.
see adults, they see children as adults.
I can definitely see it's like kind of like that, but it's just more like kids that I've seen in Scientology are just a lot more responsible. They're able to actually like have a conversation with you, and like you can talk to them and share your ideas and get an idea. 'Cause, like I'm really surprised sometimes. I see these kids who are like young, and here they are talking about, oh, I drew this picture, and they're really, articulate and they can tell me everything. I'm like, wow, it's really cool. And then like other kids, sometimes I just like, it's like they're so like crazy and wild, and and it's not a bad thing, it's not.
How about them locking their passports?
Their passports.
Yes, their passports get locked and they can't get
I
out.
think it's the same idea as like a nun.
Like even these people, they're
I
here
think-
every
I think
single
it's- I
day
think
of the
it's
year,
like
right?
the same idea as a nun. You don't go around harassing nuns saying that, oh, you have to be clothed, you have to do this, you have to do that.
As a nun, they got nuns too. You know that?
Like you're not telling them to be completely locked up, and they're not going around saying that nuns are locked up, because
They got nuns too. You know that?
Because they-
Scientology.
They don't lock up the nuns' passports.
Right.
They're like 50 years old. Yeah, they have
I mean,
nuns.
you mean
Nation
nuns?
of Islam. Yes, they're connected.
You know,
There's nuns.
Do you not like Islam?
Nation of Islam. That's another cult right there.
The Nation of Islam?
Yes, sir.
The entire nation, everybody inside.
Nation of Islam.
You can tell the guy doesn't know what the Nation of Islam is. He thinks he's talking about Islam, the religion, but
Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah.
I'm not the most familiar with it. With that, I'll be honest. I don't. But I'm more familiar with this right here. And they have ties with them.
Who have come from Islam, and they're just normal ass kids. Honestly, they're basically American kids.
Well, I seen it. Well, let me tell you this. I've seen adults cry that left Scientology just because all the abuses that they did to them as a child, because they had no childhood.
You know,
why has he got to throw me under the bus like that?
I would love to get some.
Well, they come here often, so all you have to do is come back around when one of the members is here.
Have something I can look at, because I would like to know.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a
SPTV.
good thing to know,
There's like 80 channels all dedicated to this,
yeah.
and a lot of ex-members that have already left. You know, the other day there was a sign right there, a poster, just about a week ago, a billboard. It said, "Need help leaving Scientology?" And you know what Scientology is? They blocked it off, so that the person that drives the van never even takes a look at it. How isn't that a trap way?
Blocking free speech is not a very good thing, but if you think about it,
So why did they block it?
no, I mean,
If they don't care.
This is the thing I would, in the example I would give. If somebody's going to a hospital, or they're going to a mental place, like a mental hospital, to get help, and then guess what? They're doing some fucked up shit inside of that mental hospital. Are you gonna go out there and scare the living daylights out of these mental patients? No, because guess what? They're mental patients. They're there for help, and they want to.
Is he comparing Sea Org members to mental patients?
He's
What-
comparing SEERG members to the people who are operating the mental hospital, and you shouldn't be out here scaring the workers and the patients, because that's what the protesters are doing. just
Interesting
scaring.
analogy. Okay, all right.
They want to get help. They want to get medical treatment for their mental health. And so if you are there yelling and screaming with a megaphone and putting a sign up and doing stuff like that, that can affect them when they're trying to, help their mental health. I mean, you can see that, right?
Yeah. Look, she's gonna get you now. We're just having a
He
conversation,
disappeared.
like you said. This just makes them look bad.
They got the security guard. Drag him away.
It makes them look bad. Because you said we were gonna have a conversation, and we're no longer having a conversation because of this.
You know what I just realized? It's because the Sea Org members, someone in OSA, is watching Chris's live stream, and at
the
first,
feed from security.
That's right. At first, they were going to leave him alone, and then they were like, "Oh shit, he's gone totally off the rails."
Yeah.
He's saying he wants to hear from former members. He's talking about mental hospitals. Someone go get him. Get his sister out there. Get that son of a bitch back inside.
Yeah.
That's what's happening here.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my
look
God.
at her.
I'm
She doesn't
having
even
an-
say anything.
She doesn't even say anything. Is that what is that why you said look at her mask?
That's why I'm saying look at her mask. She
How much
just
are we-
stares at him. She's still staring at him. And then, like, for a second, her mask moves towards the end.
Wow. Okay. And I'm going to rewind. I just wanted to play with the sound off while we were talking.
She just tone
here.
40s him away with
All
the
right, I'm
death stare.
going to turn the sound back on.
I mean, you can see that, right?
Yeah. Look, she's gonna get you now. We're just having a conversation, like you said. This just makes them look bad.
They got the security guard. Drag him away.
It makes them look
You don't
bad.
want him talking to
Because
him.
you said we were gonna have a conversation, and we're no longer having a conversation because of this. I'm having a normal conversation. I'm right here. Look,
I thought you
He's
said you
biting
weren't.
his cheeks.
Now you are. The Scientologists are telling you what to do, and you're trying to say.
I told you, man. I told you.
He has
See,
no
this is
right.
part of it.
Lock him
I
up.
just made you realize.
Then she grabs his hand.
Which honestly, that's kind of a no-no for a Sea Org member to do that to a non-Sea Org member. So I guess we really believe that's his sister. But how
Right. That's
did?
the only way she's getting away with that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If we had been holding hands with the public, that wasn't our relation.
Remember when you were helping me across the street because I had a sprained ankle and people wrote us up for like being boyfriend girlfriend?
Yes. Aaron had a sprained ankle, guys. Okay. And I let him put his arm around my shoulder so that he could limp across the street. Do you know how many reports we got that we were having a torrid love affair?
Little
Like,
did they know.
oh, all right. It never happened, guys.
Oh, okay. William in the background is just cracking me the hell up. All right, let's see what else happens
Right?
here. I mean,
Lock him up. I thought you're not a Scientologist. Up. Look, you're under full control. What a great religion that they control you. You aren't even allowed to talk to people without permission.
I
can't
told
talk to
you.
people without permission.
Guys, this is probably the best freaking clip I've gotten in my life.
Chris is so damn funny. Oh
I
my
love
God.
Oh my God. Yeah, no.
Wow.
That's why. And you saw it. Like, she just stares at him.
We got to find out who this person is, guys.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? Who's the sister? I know there's someone watching who knows who these people are.
Oh, yeah.
So what, guys, whether either well, if you put it in the live chat, I won't see it, but you put it in the comment, or someone, email me at growingupinscientology@gmail.com and let me know who these people are. I just love the fact that he's claiming not to be a Scientologist. Technically, you're kind of not allowed to do that when you're a Scientologist. It's like, it kind of makes you a little PTS.
I think, there's so many theories bopping around in my head. Either he's like, he is that lady's sister and he's thinking to himself, well, I'm just a kid whose parents do it and I'm like whatevs and I'm cool and I'm just a regular kid who's just doing this because it's helpful. And so he thought it wasn't a big deal to just talk to his fellow kids out there with Chris. And then is like his sister came to Hammer of Thor, bring him back. And they went into the chapel. Like I said to people, that's not a regular entrance for public.
You can go through that entrance and then down into the Asho quad and then into Asho.
But normally people only go into the chapel if you're living in Leb Hall and you're using it as a shortcut to get in there.
That's true.
Or if you're like cutting through for some reason because you're running up the street to get to course on time. That's not like, oh, I'm going to go in through the chapel today because I like it.
And it's also funny because that's not where she came from.
No, she came either out of CLO or Asho. And I don't know that scarf.
No, out of AOA. Out of the CLO or out of AOA.
That's what I meant, AO.
Right.
And I don't recognize the scarf because I think this is a new uniform that they've put out. So I don't know.
Yeah. Because the AO Sea Org members still wear the sort of yellowish off-white shirts from what and the Asho guys all wear the same uniform. The Asho guys all wear the same. But
what's crazy is when he first met Selfless Self, he was coming from like Eliorg or Asho down the street with his Chipotle.
Huh.
So
he's definitely not a Sea Org member.
Yeah, I don't think
he's definitely not a Sea Org member.
No.
Yeah. And it's weird that he would be a public, but then you don't just walk up and down L. Ron Hubbard Way. Like if you're not going on course, you're not like he must be living nearby or something. What if he's living in the Fountain Motels?
Could be.
Yeah.
I think he's a Scientology kid who really thought, I'll just go chit chat. And I think when he was first out there with security, because he's in civvies, they were probably like, oh, they're just talking to some other guy. And they weren't by the cameras. So they couldn't hear the conversation because he was outside the cafe. So they left him alone. Right. But this time with Chris, he's standing right in front of their camera, which does pull audio. And they heard everything he was saying. And then we're like, what the F? This is the guy we saw earlier. And they probably went and combed through the streams and were like, what the frack? Who's his sister? And by the time they figured out who his sister was, got her out there. Because, there's a few hundred people there.
So let's give a couple thoughts on this question. What kind of punishment will he receive? So I don't think he's going to get a punishment per se, as much as like a handling, an education on how because obviously orders are coming down telling Scientologists how to interact or not interact with the protesters. And he probably just hasn't had the briefing.
No, because he's nobody. he's in Div 6 course room, so they don't care.
Mhm.
He's in the beginning class, right? So they don't
Yeah.
they trust more the people who have been in a long time, who are upper level people, because they can tell them these are the people we're targeting, and they can give them a special briefing and all that kind of stuff. This kid is nobody.
Yeah.
He might be forced to join the Sea Org now. as a like make up the damage. That's the only way he can deliver an effective blow to the enemies, is to get in and join the Sea Org.
Some ethics officers probably sitting down with him and going, were you really comparing a Scientology org to a mental hospital? What the hell is wrong with you?
Right. And also, if his parents are like public, they're going to get in trouble. Let's face it. They're going to be hauled in and be like, why is your kid so not a Scientologist? What's your out point? Because like, why would he be saying stuff like that if he had been a dedicated Scientologist his whole life? He would know all the right things to say.
Yeah. The other thing he said that they're going to be like, why did you say you want to hear from former Scientologists?
Yeah.
Why did you say that? Is that true? Are you watching the internet? And then of course Chris said SPTV. So
I love it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I got to get out of here. I got to go do a little furniture pickup. Still getting ready for this coming week. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy.
You guys, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. As always, thank you to everyone who watches until the very end, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right